In order for this outer world to change, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Whether you want the relationship, whether you want the money, whether you want the health, like it does not matter what it is, right? That next level of success, whatever that looks like for you. In order for you to achieve that, in order for this to change, you must change what is happening internally because everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. And so you must change your frequency. What is your frequency? Your frequency is your state of consciousness. In other words, it's your identity. You don't have to just work hard. You don't have to use willpower. You don't have to hustle. You don't have to grind. You don't have to do all of these things. Actually, these things, going about transforming yourself in this way is actually going to hold you back from actually transforming. It's going to keep you in the old cycles, the old identity, because you're trying to outrun the very thing that quote unquote needs change, right? From shame, from guilt, from anger, from hustle, from grind, from force. But you're trying to outwork your frequency. You're trying to outwork your identity. And this is the main problem. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this illusion is, how you're working with this illusion, how your old identity uses certain logic to keep you stuck in that old frequency, to keep you attracting the same things, to keep you reacting in the same exact patterns. I'm going to teach you how to transcend it permanently for good. So that way you can start creating the reality that you desire without any resistance. Now, if you don't know me, my name is David Kasneci. I am a best-selling author in the realm of spirituality, manifestation. We've sold a little over 500,000 copies of our books. I am also a private life coach and an 8-figure entrepreneur. I just help people shift from the highest planes of consciousness, create and manifest the life of their dreams without the corny woo-woo stuff. And I just tell you the truth, and the truth is the only thing that ultimately sets you free. So let's get started. First thing we're going to be discussing is the illusion, because in order for you to know the truth, you got to know what the illusion is. Let's shine some light. All right, we got the whiteboard of truth. So the illusion is you're identified with a subconscious program that is not you. So you say, I am, and then fill in the blank, right? You say, I am my name. You say, I am my gender. You say, I am my career. You say, I am my personality. You say, I am me, right? This is me. This is my identity. But where did this identity come from? Well, this identity came from I am. Now let's dive deep into I am. Let's figure out what this I am is. So I am, this is source. This is the very essence of your being, which is awareness. So when you were a baby, right, you were just pure awareness. If you listen to any, spiritual guru or yogi or saint or sage, they're going to tell you that awareness is God, that awareness is the essence of all things, right? And then as you got older, you gained consciousness. And consciousness is essentially the awareness of being, just simply the awareness of being, not the awareness of being your name, your gender, this and that, your career and all of these things, your age, just the awareness of being. You gained self-awareness. So you were like, wow, I am an individual self. And then as time went on, you evolved more and more. So now you're like, let's just say now you're 2 years old, right? So at 2 years old, now you realize that you're a creator. But you don't only realize that you're a creator, you realize that you're an infinite creator. So you could create anything that you desire to create. You could shift your state of consciousness. You could shift your identity because you weren't attached to a certain identity. You weren't attached to this me right here. You said, I could be whoever I desire to be right here, right now, unconditionally. If I want to be a Barbie one day, I'll be a Barbie one day. Actually, in the next 5 minutes, I choose to be an astronaut. And then 10 minutes from there, I choose to be a skateboarder. Whatever the case was, you get the point, right? But you could just shift so easily because you were infinite. And this was before you were indoctrinated to all of these certain limiting belief systems that made you construct an identity that said, this is me, right? Before we even get further into the indoctrination part, let's talk about the qualities of I am. Let's talk about your qualities, the qualities that you embodied when you were a child, because you came from I am, you came from source. That's the essence of your being, right? Presence. And this is attention, just to break it down like very easily, right? So this is plain attention, awareness, presence, same thing, right? This is just the source, that's your essence. Next, love. You embodied love. You were interested in all things. And I'm not just talking about love as an affection. Yes, that type of love too. But I'm talking about unconditional love. I'm talking about love as in like genuine desire to also create, right? You also embodied joy. You embodied power. You embodied peace, creativity, abundance. These are your very qualities, okay? This is where you come from. You come from this place until, of course, you get indoctrinated into certain belief systems. And the fact is this: most of our parents didn't really give us the attention that we needed. Why? Because they were probably working, they were doing their own things, and they're so innocent, right? This isn't about, oh, let me blame my parents and justify all of my actions and be a victim of my past. We're going to get rid of all of that illusion in this video. But the fact is, our parents didn't give us the attention that we deserved, that we needed in order to actually grow, right? And on top of that, our parents didn't really give us unconditional love. They conditioned their love, right? They only loved us if we met certain standards. They only loved us if we did this. They only loved us if we got good grades. They only loved us if we didn't mess up. The joy, the power, the peace, the creativity, be realistic. All of these were essentially suppressed. And the fact is, because we were not seen, because we were not loved, because we could not be authentically who we really are, we had to condition our love. We had to suppress certain emotions to survive because we needed love from our parents. We had to change what we believed to be true because our parents taught us, no, this is actually true. So we didn't have a say, right? We didn't have any logic, any reasoning. We accepted everything our parents told us, but not only our parents, I'm talking about also what your friends told you, what your teachers told you. And even now, you're being indoctrinated into certain belief systems based on the groups that you've been divided into, based on who you're listening to every single day. That person is literally just programming your subconscious mind. So make sure that the information that you're consuming is information that is going to help you create the reality of your dreams, that is going to help you move forward. Don't listen to news. Don't listen to things that are just going to keep you stuck in shame, guilt, or anger, or negative emotions. You don't need that in your life. Just focus on creating the reality that you want and make sure that the information that you consume is aligned with the reality that you want to create, is actually supporting your growth, expansion, and evolution. So the fact is, this is the authentic you right here. But you were taught to suppress the essence of your being. You were taught to suppress these qualities, which is who and what you really are. We're unworthy, unaccepted for being authentically whoever we desire to be, right? We weren't supported, so we were unsupported. We weren't seen. So deep down, we were perceived as unworthy. We were unaccepted. We were unsupported. We were unseen. But the solution to this essentially was, now we get divided into groups that accept us. So we get divided into groups and we stay in those groups out of shame, out of guilt, and out of anger. So you literally had to break yourself in order to fit in. You broke yourself to fit into a society of other broken egos, okay? And we rely on these other broken egos to give us the love and support that we required as children. And so we overcompensate because we're coming from lack. We don't know how to go within. We don't understand that love and support is actually the very essence of our own being, and we can start giving ourselves the love and support that we're seeking. This is where everything changes. This is really what created the me. Your environments, your surroundings, the external world. So before the world created you, who were you? Who were you authentically? Before you misidentified with an identity to feel safe and secure. Before you said, this is me, this is who I have to be in order to survive. Before that identity came along, who were you? And who are you? This is the inner work. And this right here is going to set you free, because the fact is you are an infinite creator. On a deep soul level, you have genuine desires to create what you want to create. But the problem is you're trying to create them from a place of lack, or you're suppressing them, or there's something happening because there's an old identity that doesn't know how to act, that doesn't know how to create. So ask yourself right now, if you changed, what would happen? If you changed right now into who you desire to be, exactly what would happen? Would you be judged? Would you be rejected? Would you be abandoned? Would you no longer be supported? This is one of the main things that's holding you back from actually shifting your state of consciousness. Because you were divided into certain groups and you were programmed, you were indoctrinated into certain limiting belief systems that suppressed all of your love, your joy, your power, your peace, your creativity, and your abundance. Because of this, you don't know who you are anymore. And you're afraid that if you change, if you actually unlock the truth, you're going to lose everybody who ever knew you. And this is why you procrastinate. This is why you avoid change. This is why you delay taking that leap. Because you're afraid of what will happen. You're afraid of who you will lose when you transform your life and what will change. Because technically, it's the realm of unknown, right? This is the realm of familiarity right here. This, being traumatized, being inauthentic, being broken to fit in. This is the realm of familiarity. And this is what your current nervous system, this is what the subconscious program deems as safe. Everything else is unknown. And that's why you fear success. That's why you fear manifesting the life of your dreams. That's why you fear transforming. But we're about to dissolve this illusion once and for all. Because as soon as you find that love and support that you're seeking for externally, as soon as you find that within you, which we're about to find that right now, everything is going to change permanently. So that was all about your identity, right? That's all about the me. Now let's talk about the actions that this me performs. What if every single thing you've been doing to change are actually the very things that are keeping you stuck in the same old cycles? That willpower, that force, that grind, that hustle, that's all fueling the desire to transform from shame, from guilt, from anger, from lack. You can't change from this place because you're trying to outrun an old identity. You're trying to outrun an old frequency. You're working with an illusion. The only way you can change the me is by going to I am, because it's I am that created the me. And the fact is, the I am, the very essence of your being, has been suppressed, has been rejected, has been denied. Your power, your love, your peace, your creativity, your joy, everything. As soon as you came here, you were taught to condition every single one of your qualities. You were taught that that exists out here. You were taught that the love that you're looking for exists in a relationship outside of you. You were taught that abundance exists in money, and you have to go chase money in order to finally be abundant, in order to finally be financially free. You were taught that peace exists somewhere else, somewhere it may be in a future destination that is not right here, right now. These are the illusions that you've been indoctrinated into. You've been taught from a survival-based paradigm, and from this survival-based paradigm, you react, because the only thing that is safe and secure for who you think you are is the same old things that you've always been doing to feel safe and secure, which are called coping mechanisms. So let's say you go to weed. Let's say you go to alcohol. Let's say you go to junk food. Let's say you go to doom scrolling. This is actually what's preventing you from moving forward. And every single time you try to change from this survival-based paradigm, you end up falling back into the same old patterns, because that is what safety is for your nervous system. And so you see now how that me that has been indoctrinated into all of these different belief systems, that me that you think you are, the fact is that's not you. And the moment that you decide to consciously act on what you want to act on, the moment that you decide to be authentically you, coming from love, coming from power, coming from joy, coming from peace, coming from harmony, coming from acceptance, the moment that you just say, I choose right now to be who I want to be, I choose to do what I want to do unconditionally, without any fear, without any resistance, because this is who I really am. This is who I desire to be. This is my soul. The moment that you do that and you come from a place of inspiration, that's the moment when those shame and guilt cycles will no longer appear. And that's also the moment where things become very easy, because now you're in harmony. Now you're not trying to outrun an old identity. You're not trying to manipulate anything. You see, so many people have ambition, right? But this ambition is what keeps people stuck. This ambition of becoming is what keeps people stuck. Becoming is really just remembering the truth of who and what you really are. This is what becoming is. It's not trying to fix yourself. You're not becoming whole, fulfilled, and complete. You are whole, fulfilled, and complete now. And through that realization, you shift, you transform. You start creating the reality that you want to create. You stop focusing on the problems and start focusing on the solutions. Instead of moving away from what you don't want because you're misidentified, you start moving toward what you do want, because now you're creating from the soul. And when you start moving toward what you do want, you automatically start reprogramming that subconscious mind. And you deprogram the subconscious mind simply through harmony, unconditional love, seeing innocence. Knowing that you were indoctrinated into a certain belief system, you didn't have a say in what to accept and what to deny. You were a baby who was brought here, right? On a soul level, I truly believe that you created everything. You created your parents. You created the environment. You created your qualities. You created everything on a soul level. However, obviously, if you don't remember any of that, right? It seems like you're a victim, but you're not. Because everything you create serves you. Everything you create is meant for your growth, expansion, evolution, and awakening. It's the only way you can start getting feedback and learning and actually growing, expanding, and evolving. And so there's nothing wrong with this old identity. Just accept it. Accept it for what it was. Don't identify with it. Don't say, this is me, this is who I am. Just say, this is who I needed to be to survive. I don't need to survive anymore because I'm safe, I'm secure, because I love myself unconditionally and I support myself unconditionally. And therefore, I choose to be who I want to be. I choose to create what I want to create unconditionally as the unconditioned creator. I bring my love, my power, my joy. I bring my peace with me in my creations. And I transform, I create from this place, no longer any other place, because that's how I create as the infinite creator. So ask yourself, where do you go to for safety and security, for comfort, for pleasure, right? Because the fact is, the only reason why you're chasing this pleasure is to numb certain pain down. The happier you are, the more whole you are, the less pleasure you will need, the less pleasure you will seek, because you are whole. And so is it drugs? Is it alcohol? Is it doom scrolling? When you avoid something, what do you do instead? When you delay a process, where do you go to? Because this right here is how your nervous system responds as, oh, this is the place I go to for safety and security, because this is the only place that I could have went to because I was unable to express how I really felt as a child. I was unable to actually be authentically me and do what I authentically wanted to do because I was forced to be someone else. I was forced to do something else, right? And so my nervous system cannot handle me being authentic. And because my nervous system can't handle it, as soon as I start being authentic, as soon as I start creating the reality of my dreams, I start going back into old coping mechanisms. And the coping mechanisms are what? Identify that. And the next time you get triggered emotionally, because that's energy in motion, right? The next time you get triggered emotionally, understand that it's a subconscious program. Understand that you are safe, you are secure. Tell yourself this affirmation: I am whole, complete, and fulfilled. I lack absolutely nothing. And watch the illusion wash away. Repeat the affirmation again. I am whole, complete, and fulfilled. I lack absolutely nothing. And watch the illusion wash away. So now, instead of creating from illusion, instead of creating from lack, from scarcity, of I have to become whole, I have to become abundant, I have to become this or that in order to get peace, in order to get joy, in order to be finally free, you remember you are abundant. You are pure peace. You are pure love. You are joy. It's the essence of your being. You are whole, complete, and fulfilled. And now you bring that with you in everything that you create. You bring the fullness of life with you every step of the way, and you're going to see everything change. You're not creating from lack anymore. You're not trying to outrun something. You're not trying to fix yourself. You have transcended illusion entirely. And you have entered into the realm of the essence of your being, the Almighty I Am, God, that lacks nothing. From this place, you focus on creating what you genuinely desire to create, knowing that it's already yours. So return to wholeness, return to the Almighty I Am, and start creating reality from this place, understanding that if I want to change any quality of my personality, which, by the way, the personality has been shaped and molded by past trauma, by all this inauthenticity, right? So in order for me to change anything, it is to the one I am I must go, because God is the creator of all. I am creates it all. So I go into the essence of my very own being, and I start focusing on creating the I am that is most authentically aligned with my soul, with my genuine desire to express, to give, to serve, to create. You don't focus on receiving anything. You don't focus on, oh, I need this to be whole. I need this. No, you simply focus on creating. You focus on creating what you want to create, coming from wholeness. You lack nothing, and so you need nothing. And so now all you want to do is just create. Now all you want to do is just give. I am is the origin of all identity. All versions of you exist within I am. Even that fragmented ego version of you that you've misidentified with, that exists within I am as well. Everything comes from I am. And the only reason that version of you existed is so you could finally discover the truth of who you are. Because without the illusion, how could you know the truth? Without going through the darkness, how could you awaken to the light? How could you realize I am the light without going through the darkness? You can't. It's impossible. When you transform from peace, from harmony, from acceptance of I don't need to change anything, I don't need to fix anything, I don't need to quote unquote become anything, I am all that I desire to be now, and you act that out, you truly, genuinely believe it, you detach from the world, and you say, I am who I desire to be now, and you focus on internal progress, which is you focus on expressing that state of consciousness, expressing the most authentic you, creating reality from the version of you that is authentic. You focus only on that and detach from external results. Because the fact is, if you focus on external results, Let's just say you want to master a particular skill. There's no way you're going to master a particular skill in a day. There's no way you're going to master it in a week, not even in a month, not even in a year. Mastery is a state of consciousness that is seeking expression. That's all mastery is. And the more you can maintain that state of consciousness that is constantly seeking expression, the more you understand that the master is actually a student that is forever a student. That's what a real master is. The moment you understand that is the moment that you stop seeking externally, is the moment you stop identifying with your current outcomes, with your current circumstances, and you identify as the master that you are. Because that's the truth. You are that. And so this is effortless transformation. You don't need force or grind or willpower or all this ambition. You need aspiration, inspiration, which is a state that exists within you, which is a genuine desire to express instead of a desire to receive out of lack. This is the truth. This is the only truth that's ever going to set you free. You lack nothing. You are whole, complete, and fulfilled now. Your old identity is going to want to stay alive because your nervous system perceives that old identity as safety and security. But by you understanding that you are already safe and secure because you're giving yourself the unconditional love and support that you never received, because now you're starting to create reality from this place, you're not going to react automatically. You're going to recognize the illusion. So instead of reacting automatically from a subconscious program, instead of reacting automatically and unconsciously from the nervous system that's seeking safety and security, you're going to consciously respond as the version of you that has shifted. And you're going to do this effortlessly. No resistance is required. Simply just be and tell yourself, I am whole, fulfilled, and complete now. I lack absolutely nothing. That affirmation is going to completely change your life because that is the most powerful affirmation that exists because that's where you come from. It's the most powerful affirmation that exists. You lack absolutely nothing. You are whole, fulfilled, and complete now. You are safe and secure now. And then you start loving and supporting yourself unconditionally as the version of you who already has everything that you want, not looking externally, but creating, only focused on internal progress and creating and expressing. Then you're going to watch everything shift. And you're going to realize that change is actually very easy. It's not hard. You don't need all this force. It's easy. I promise you. The subconscious program was never you. It was never you. And it's still not you. It's still not you. You are the programmer. And the way that you program is through presence. The present moment, right here, right now. Because that identity, where does that old frequency, old identity exist? It exists in your mind. That fear-based thinking. Uncertainty. That's the old identity. Uncertainty, doubt, fear. Those thoughts. But in the present moment, when you calm yourself down, when you prioritize your peace, when you come from pure harmony, from wholeness, when you come from this place, this right here is when you create from abundance and not from lack. And the moment that you start creating from abundance is the moment that abundance will start reflecting back to you. Now, on a subconscious level, there may be parts of you that says, I can't change because I've tried changing 20 times, 50 times. I always ended up going back into the same old patterns. Write a letter forgiving that part of you. Write a letter blessing that part of you. Write a letter loving that part of you, seeing that part of you's innocence, because that part of you was trying to do things from a very limited state of consciousness. That part of you was trying to change from disharmony. That part of you was trying to move forward from survival, not from peace, not from joy, not from love, not from the very essence of your being. Express gratitude and now reclaim your right to shift effortlessly from a place of love, inspiration, and harmony. Focus on internal progress, which is being who you desire to be and authentically expressing this being. Don't focus on having in this world. Don't focus on outcomes. Don't focus on results. The outcomes, the results, they're there to give you feedback, but they're not there for you to identify with. They're there to tell you, hey, you know what you're creating right now? And that's fine. You just keep creating. You focus on the being and the doing. Use your results as simple feedback. That's all. Feedback that is going to allow you to learn more, that is going to allow you to create from higher levels of consciousness, because you need some sort of feedback. That's what this world is. All it is just feedback. But when you solely focus on the being and expressing this being, the being and the doing, understanding that the having is actually a state of consciousness, that you are being and doing, that you are expressing from within you, you only focus on that. You show up as the one who already has what you want, and you act like that person. That's it. That's it. It's really plain and simple. New identity requires conscious action, conscious response. Old identity will try to get in the way through unconscious reaction. And that gets you from emotion. And because you're identified with it, because you say, this is me, this is who I am, you fall for the trap. But the key is regulating your nervous system. Prioritize peace. Prioritize your relaxation. Prioritize harmony. Prioritize moving toward what you desire to create and being authentically you. Now, to take everything that I'm telling you to a different level, use awakened consciousness or just start journaling. Awakened Consciousness is our bestseller. Use our books. Start journaling. Start writing down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. Start visualizing yourself consciously responding instead of automatically reacting. Start visualizing already having what you want, not even seeking it externally, but having what you want internally. Visualize yourself being the one that you desire to be and doing what you desire to do. Visualize yourself authentically expressing the version of you that already has everything, and everything is natural and everything is harmonious. Visualize yourself not being afraid of judgment. Visualize someone judging you and you just not flinching at all. Visualize someone not supporting you and you not flinching at all. Visualize yourself getting rejected and not flinching at all. Because this right here is going to rewire that survival-based paradigm. And trust me, it's really going to set you free. And so start writing down who you want to be, what you want to do, what you want to have as though it's already done. Now, understand that you were never meant to fix or upgrade an old you. You're meant to release it. You're meant to transcend it because the old you never actually existed. The version of you you've been trying to become isn't in the future. It's right here, right now. Everything you want is a state of consciousness. All versions of you exist right here, right now, within your consciousness. The becoming is really just remembering. You don't need more willpower. You don't force what you want. You just need to remember the truth. Not the me that was molded by fear, but the I am that creates in peace, power, and presence. So stop negotiating with your old identity. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking external proof that it's time. You are the proof. You are the permission. I am is the only proof you will ever need. The permission of I am is the only permission you will ever require. You are the creator who is here to create your heart's deepest desires. The reality you're called to manifest is within you. It's ready. It's waiting for you to express it. So take a deep breath with me right now. I release the old version of me that I created to survive. I release the need for external approval. I choose to have all the approval and evidence come from supporting and loving myself unconditionally. I now welcome home the one who I am here to create. I now embody and express my authentic truth. I am whole, fulfilled, and complete. I lack absolutely nothing. I already have everything, and it is from this place that I create reality, from the place of wholeness, fullness, and completion, because I am the creator and creation is finished. And that's it. I love you. I appreciate you. Let us create.